President al-Assad meets the Syrian-Ukrainian friendship delegation. Moscow says the Russian stand towards Syria at the UN Security Council is correct. Life is back to normal in Baba Amr. The American Department of Treasury imposes sanctions on Syrian radio and TV. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our news for today. President Bashar al-Assad met today the Syrian-Ukrainian friendship delegation and the Ukrainian parliament. Both sides discussed the latest development and means and ways of overcoming the crisis in Syria. Russia has expressed concern over the absence of political will in the West to influence the opposition in Syria. The Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Rybakov said any problems can be solved if influential parties have the political will to solve them, particularly those who can affect the Syrian opposition. He added that no pretext should be made that it is late. On the contrary, work should be done so that it would not be too late. Rybakov said Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will discuss the subject with the Arab foreign ministers in Cairo next Saturday. He added that Russia is confident that its stand is correct concerning the crisis in Syria and is considering with full sense of responsibility the possibility of using the veto regarding the vote on any issue, and is aware of the serious consequences of such a step. A media source said that Syria welcomes the visit of Kofi Annan, envoy of the UN Secretary General to Syria. On the other hand, the source said that Syria accepted to receive UN Under Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs Valerie Amos. Amos will hold talks with Minister of Foreign Affairs Walid al-Muallim, his deputy, and head of the Syrian Arab Red Crescent. Amos will pay visits to some areas in Syria, according to the media source. An armed terrorist group kidnapped yesterday evening 43-year-old businessman Azzam Msafati in front of his house in Al-Hamadaniya neighborhood in Aleppo. Msafati owns the amusement park on Aleppo-Damascus highway. On the other hand, competent authorities yesterday found on Al-Misilmiya road in Aleppo the body of 43-year-old orthopedic surgeon Dr. Azzeddin Isa, born in Nubel, Aleppo, with clear marks of torture. According to medical circles, the death was caused by brain bleeding resulting from successive head bruises. An armed terrorist group had kidnapped Dr. Isa in Al-Khalidiyya district last Sunday. The inhabitants of Baba Amr neighborhood in Homs continued to return to their homes after they had been deported by the armed terrorist groups, as life is getting back to normal and security and stability are restored by the competent authorities who chased the terrorists out of the area. Concerned circles also continued to remove the devastation which befell public and private properties by the terrorist groups. In the neighborhood of Baba Amr, competent authorities seized a weapon lab which was used by the armed terrorist groups to prepare improvised explosive devices and rockets which were launched indiscriminately on the residential areas. They also found a reconnaissance aircraft similar to those used by the Israeli occupation forces, in addition to surveillance cameras and anti-tank missiles and rockets, as well as missile launchers and a variety of missiles. The specialized authorities also found in the neighborhood corridors and tunnels that were used by the terrorists to smuggle weapons and to move into other neighborhoods and hide inside. Competent authorities seized a Honda truck on Homs-Hama highway carrying different kinds of weapons and shells hidden inside it. Authorities arrested the driver and his companion. The weapons included 5 automatic guns, 10 RPG launchers, 10 explosive devices, and a huge amount of ammunition. In Hama countryside, authorities found during a search in a farm 25 barrels of diesel stolen by armed terrorist groups from the consumer establishment affiliated to Homs refinery. In Deir Zor, an armed terrorist group targeted yesterday an oil pipeline south of Al-Umar oil field with an explosive charge, causing minor damages. The pipeline was attacked several times in the past by the armed terrorist groups. In a move which contradicts with freedom of expression allegedly embraced by the U.S. and the Western countries, the U.S. Treasury Department issued a resolution to impose sanctions on the Syrian radio and TV. The U.S. Treasury Department said in a statement yesterday that it identified the General Organization of Syrian Radio and Television as included in the sanctions according to the executive order issued on the 17th of August last year. Director of the Foreign Assets Control Office in the U.S. Treasury Department, Adam Sullivan, said that individuals or institutions supporting the Syrian government would be punished. The Commander-in-Chief of Dubai Police General Dahi Khalfan has issued an order preventing Yusuf al-Qaradawi from entering the United Arab Emirates due to his political activities that are ribald and bullying and aims at creating unrest. Khalfan said in comments published on the internet that his country will issue an arrest warrant against al-Qaradawi on charges of insulting the United Arab Emirates through the Qatari Al Jazeera channel. He added that al-Qaradawi is practicing political blackmail and threatening certain states if they do not do so, and so he will talk about them in news media. Khalfan wondered why Qaradawi does not criticize the state of Qatar that recently cancelled the Qatari nationality of hundreds of its citizens. Khalfan pointed out that al-Qaradawi is making statements at random against states and individuals on the basis of the false information he receives, which he immediately embraces without any verification, although the religious status he represents makes it incumbent upon him not to make such accusations. With this, we conclude our news for today. For more information about Syria and the region, you can visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Up next, the latest business and market news with Yerado Krekorian.